Welcome to this video where I'll show you exactly how I created this CapCut Cutout template that you will see shortly using just my mobile device. The very first thing that you need to do is to start a new project. So just as you know, CapCut will ask you to select all the videos and images you want to use for this edit. And in that particular edit, I used one video and 8 images of sport cars, right? So I'm going to select each of those images right away. I think this is the first video, and I'll go over to photos and select the images that I used. I used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And just to explain something to you, these 8 images, I have the 8 of them here without a background. This ones without the background is what we'll be using as the overlay. I will show you that shortly. So after selecting all the footage that I want to use, I'll select add. After doing that, I'll have everything here in my timeline. As you can see, I have the 8 pictures and the video right here. There's something that I forgot to add. I had a black background at this point just before the first image showed. So I'm going to quickly add that. I'll click on this plus button and look for that black background. This is the black background. So I'll select this and hit add. Now I have my black background here. All right. So the very next thing I'm going to do now is to add the audio. As you noticed, all the transitions in that video were synced to the audio. Okay, so the very first thing we'll do now is to add the audio so that we can use the beats to start editing this template. So to add the audio, I'll select on this add audio. I'll go to sounds. I already have the audio downloaded in my phone. So I'll come over to this section here, click on device, and I'll scroll down to the audio. I think this is the audio. Yes, that is it. So I'll click on the plus button and it has been added to my timeline. All right. So just as you can notice right here, the audio is short and I still have all of these photos here. I'll have to trim them to fit into the beats of this audio. So the very first thing I want to do here is to generate the beats of this audio and make them visible so that I can make use of them. To do that, I'll have the audio selected just like this, and I'll slide down to this tool right here that says beats. So I'll select this and I'll select auto generate beats. So as you can see here, it has added these little yellow bumps to the audio. These bumps indicates where there is a beat in this audio. So this will enable us sync our transitions of this template perfectly with the sound of the audio. I hope you understand that. So after generating this, I'll click on good. And as you can see down here, we have those little bumps, though they are not yellow now, but they have changed to blue color and we can still see them inside this audio. So after generating the beats, the next thing that we need to do is to start trimming our footage to fit right where we want them to be in this bit. So I'll play this. Right where it made that first sound, that is where I want this first audio to go off and switch into the black background so that it gives that blackout feel with the sound. Okay, I hope you understand that. So to do this, I'm going to select this footage and I'll click on split. Take note, my marker is exactly where this bit is. I'll play the audio again to confirm so that you see that that is exactly where it made that sound. Take note, look at the bit markers. Perfect. So I'll put my marker here. I'll select the audio, select this. You don't need to adjust anymore. Once the marker is there, just click on split. It is going to split exactly at that point. So I'll select this other part that I don't need and click on delete. So as you can see here now, it transitions into the black background that I added. So I'll play this to quickly show you the effects that this have. Did Did you see that? I'll play that again. So after doing that first part, the very next thing that we need to do now is to trim all these images and adjust them to fit perfectly into the position that we want them to be in this template. All right. So to do that, I'm going to play the audio and identify at which point do I want each image to switch to the next one. All right. So let me play this. All right. So from this point here, from this very point where the beat started, that is where I want the very first image to come in, and I want it to change to the next one at each point where I have a beat. So I'll count this. I have one beat here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is how I got the 8 images that I have. Okay, so I'm going to trim each of these images and make them fit. All right, so to do that, I have to reduce this black background from this point. I'll play the video to confirm if it is this point that I started from. I think it's somewhere here. All right, so from this point, I have to select this and split, select the part that I don't need, delete. So this one will automatically adjust to this point. So I'll just come to the next bit, hit split, delete. I'll move on to the next one, hit split, delete. To the next one, split, delete. To the next, split, and I'll do that for the remaining images. So after adding all of them, as you can see, this last image here is still too long. I'll have to cut it right where the audio ends. So I'll put my marker here. The image is already selected. I'll hit split and delete this part that I don't need. So now that I have all the images perfectly synced with the beats of this audio, I'm just going to play that to see what it looks like now. Perfect. So this is exactly how you sync the transitions of your edits to the beats of your audio. Okay, so the very next thing that we need to do now is to add the overlays. Remember I showed you the images of these same cars without a background. I did that with Canva. You can just import them in Canva and remove background. I did not use TikTok remove background because it did not give me the results that I needed. Okay, so Canva gave me the perfect result, and I did that with Canva and re-downloaded them back to my phone. So to add overlays, I'll just identify the point where the first overlay came in. I think it's somewhere around this point. Let me see. Let me play that. Okay, I think it is right from this point where it's made that sound, pump or something like that. So right from this point, I'm going to go back here and select overlay. I'll click on add overlay and I'll select the very first image, which is this one. This red car here is the first image. So I'll select this one without a background. I'll add. Now I have an overlay. It is with a white background. Okay. So now I'm just going to use CapCut remove background to take off that white background. Remove background, auto removal, and the white background is gone. If you try this with the image that I have there with the original image, CapCut's auto background removal will not give you something as perfect as this. You can try that and see. Okay, so I'll click on good. After doing that, we now have our overlay without a background. All right, so I'll be using keyframes to create that motion effect that you saw in the video that made that transition very, very beautiful. All right, so first of all, I'll select the overlay image, and then I'll do quite a few things. The very first thing that I want to do is this. I want to come to transform. Now take note what this transform does. In the desktop version, you can easily move things around and position them exactly where you want them to be. But right here in the mobile version, doing that manually is difficult because you find it challenging to place things exactly where you want them to be. Okay, so that is what this tool is used for. Let me go back to quickly show you. I'll just go back. This tool here, transform. If you select this transform and select this advanced tool that you have here, this is where you can now adjust the position of this image perfectly. As you can see, I am adjusting this and it is moving and changing the position of this image. So without using your fingers manually, you can use this section right here to perfectly put this image where you want it to be. Okay, you can do that for the y-axis and also for the x-axis. You can also do that for the zoom. Instead of it to pinch and reduce, I can use this section right here to perfectly increase the size or reduce the size of this image. And you can also do the same thing for rotate. I can also rotate this perfectly without having to use my fingers. All right. So now the very first thing that I want to do is to rotate this a little bit. I'm going to just rotate this to 30 degrees. Good. And then the zoom, I'm going to bring this down to 50, and then the position, let me take this back to the center, x0. Then the y, I want to take this down. I want to take it down really down until the car is no longer visible. All right, so now I'm going to click on done. So now, as you can see, we can no longer see this car at the beginning, as you can see that here. Okay, the next thing I'll do now is to cut this overlay image right where the main image comes in. All right, so I already have the image selected. I'll just go back and I'll select this and hit split, and then I'll delete this part that I do not need. All right, so now I'm going to use keyframes, and just like you know what keyframe is used for, if you don't know what keyframe is used for, I suggest that you quickly join the free CapCut Mastery course that I have prepared. It will help you master all the tools that you will find in CapCut. Okay, you can join the class with the pin post in our Facebook page or the link in our Instagram page. Instagram handle, Facebook handle, TikTok handle, all for 6 Tech Academy. So head over there now and join the free class. So to continue, I'm going to zoom this in so that I can have a better view. Then I'll put this marker right where this image starts from. Okay, then I'll add a keyframe and move to the ending. I'll add another keyframe. Now you can either select the keyframe here, or the minute you make any changes, it will automatically add another keyframe at the ending. Let me show you that. I'll go to transform, I'll go to advanced, and I want to reduce this back to 0. As you can see, the minute I adjusted this, it has added another keyframe. As you can see that in the overlay image there. So I'm going to reset everything that I have done so that this car can come back to its normal position. Remember what keyframe is used for. It just animates the process for you. Okay, so I'll take this back to 0. Let me slide this all the way back to 0. Oh, I passed 0. Sorry. I'll take this back to 0. That's 0. And to the zoom, I'll take it back to 100. Take it back to 100, and the rotate, I'll bring this back to 0. Perfect. So now I'll hit done, and let's see exactly what this creates. I'll hit play. Did you see that? I'll play that again. That is exactly what keyframe can do with overlay. All right, so I did something else in this particular image. I added an effect. Let me show you the effects. You can select whichever effects that you want, but to add an effect, I'll just come here, effects, I'll click video effects. I'll wait for this to load up. And then I selected this mini zoom. Right. And I'll click on it to adjust it. I'll increase the speed to 100. Then the range, I'll reduce the range to 20. All right, so I'll click on this, done. All right, so just to let you know this is a pro feature, and just in case you do not have a pro account, you can sign up in CapCut, and as a new user, CapCut is going to give you 7 days of free trial, and also they are going to give you a massive discount on your first month. So you can use this 1 week, and also the very low amount. If you're in Nigeria, I think it should be around 2009 for the pro account for the first month, and then after that you'll begin to pay, I think, 11k 12k thereabout. So that is not expensive at all. Their 1 week free trial is going to give you the opportunities to really master a lot of things and use a lot of pro features to improve your skill. Okay, so after doing that, I'm going to click on done. Now let us see what this will create. I'll reduce this. Let's see what this will create. Exactly. Right where the main image comes in, you can see what that effect did to it. It gave it that bouncing look to fit into that bass beat that we have in the audio. I'll play this again so you listen. So that is exactly how I added each of these overlays to create that motion effect that gave these templates life. So I did exactly the same thing for the next one. I came over to this point, I added overlay and select the image. I think the next image that we have there is this one right here. So I'll select this, click on add. I'll drag this to the beginning. I have this here, and I'll also drag this, or I can cut it here. I can split here, delete this unwanted parts, and then drag this to stop at these bits right here. Perfect. Right where this very next image comes in. Okay, so I'll do exactly the same thing for this one. The first thing is to remove the white background. I'll go to the background remover, select auto removal. The background is gone. I'll click on done. After that, I want to reduce the scaling just like I did for the first overlay. All right, so I'll go back, swipe all the way down to transform, go over to advanced, and I'll reduce the scaling here. For the first one, I did 30 degrees. For this one, I think I want to do minus 30 degrees to just add more drama to this edit. I'll put this at minus 30 degrees. The zoom, I'll also reduce it to 50, and the position, this time around, I want to make it come from the top. So I'm going to take this way. I'm going to take it up until it is no longer visible. Good. So I'll click on done, and then it's time for me to add my keyframe. I'll go to the very first point, add a keyframe. Now that we are still seeing these tools, the keyframe is not visible. So you have to go back first, click on this back button, and then our keyframe is back. So I'm going to add the keyframe. Now I'm going to make changes at the end, and then keyframe is going to animate that change for us. So I'll come here at the end. I'll bring back the initial positions of the scaling, go to advanced, reduce this back to 0. Go over to zoom, take this back to 100. Go over to rotate and take this back to 0. So I'll click on done and I'll play this. Okay, let me just add that same effects to this image. I'll go to effects, video effects, mini zoom, adjust, take this to 100, take this to 20. I'll click on done, and then let's see exactly what we have here now. Let me reduce this. Let's play this. Perfect. So I'll just go ahead and do the same thing for all of these clips. So I'll go ahead and do the same thing for all the overlays. So after adding all the overlays, this is exactly what my timeline looks like. I have this one here that came in from the bottom that we did together, and then the second one that came in from the top, and then this one came in from the right hand side, the next one from the left. So I just changed the positioning from the X axis and the Y axis there and just made them different. This one came in from the bottom again, this one from the top, this one from the left, and this one from the right. So that is exactly how I added all these overlays to create this motion effect and make the transitions perfect. And also take note of the main image themselves, how that effect adds life to it. Now listen as I play this. Let me play this. That's it. It is not difficult at all. That is how you can create this right here from your mobile device. One more thing, I added a filter to this first video right here to give it that beautiful look and change the color of this video. Okay, I'll quickly show you how I did that. I came over to filters and then I went straight to movies. You can select whichever filter you want. You can take your time, go through them and see which one you want and which one makes the video even more beautiful. So I came over to movies and I'll show you the exact one that I selected. It is this one here. So I selected that, and as you can see, it has changed the color of this video. So I'll click on done and it is placed right here. I can extend this if I want. I can extend this, but I don't want it. I don't like how it looks in this section of the edit. Okay, so I'm just going to cut it here and make it end here. I'll split and delete this other part. All right, so let me play this. Go back and play this. So this is exactly how I created that cutout template in CapCut using just my mobile device. This is creativity, and trust me, there are a lot of persons who are making money as template creators in CapCut right now. All right, so if you enjoyed this video, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that you can stay updated with a lot of creativity to boost your video editing skill. I'll see you in the next one.